Word of mouth part 1. Why? Another thing I'd bank my certainty chips on is the power of word of mouth marketing. There are many marketing truisms. Some of them I agree with, some I think are simply wrong. The single most powerful force in marketing is word of mouth. It is one that just about every marketing expert I know agrees with. I do too, and here's why. Let's compare it to some of the other answers given. Word of mouth versus great ad copy. Word of mouth. The right kind of word of mouth, more on that later, can bypass the copy and go right to the order. So far we've learned that word of mouth is in fact the most powerful force in marketing. We've also learned that true word of mouth doesn't come from viral gimmicks, but from something else. Word of mouth part 4, incentivized versus inspired word of mouth. In the last lesson you learned about a way to measure the word of mouth. Now I'll show you why it almost doesn't matter. Here's some facts. Number 1, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, 50% of all business startups fail in the first 2 years. Number 2, for MLM companies that figure jumps to 90 to 96%, depending on who you ask. MLM expert Richard Post says 95%. Isn't MLM all about leveraging word of mouth? If word of mouth is so great, then why do 95% of these so-called MLM companies fail? It has to do with the difference between what I call incentivized word of mouth and inspired word of mouth. First, a recap of the salient points. Number 1, word of mouth is the most powerful force in marketing. Number 2, because it can make someone bypass the sales process and go right to the order. And number 3, this happens without having to pay for direct advertising. But number 4, it doesn't come from incentivized word of mouth or pseudo-viral gimmicks. Number 5, must be inspired word of mouth. And number 6, that type of word of mouth can be controlled by you. To learn more about inspired word of mouth marketing by the godfather of internet marketing, Mark Joyner, go to www.bigmarketingonline.com/WM.